In this video, I want to go over something that proved to be a bit of a game changer when we operated not just in a seasonal business, but a hyper seasonal business. It allowed us to multiply our crew count in a very consistent and predictable fashion. We didn't have to compromise with our customer service in that we were training people at the customer's home, and we were able to do it in a very safe manner. I'm talking about this guy right here. Let's get into it. So this was our training center. We did exterior cleaning inside of my home service business, and we did a lot of work up on ladders and on roofs. Now, it's one thing to say you're comfortable and able to do that sort of work in a boardroom or an interview setting. It's a whole nother thing to have to actually do it in real life. And this is where we actually did our interviews, was here in our yard, our staging area. And because we had this training center, we were able to test the skill and make sure that there was at least some proficiency there. Now, I wasn't looking for people to be born on a ladder or part monkey, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that this was not a phobia of theirs, one that would inevitably cut their time with us short. The beautiful part of this is it was a neutral environment, meaning that we didn't have to do our training at the customer's home. And really, depending on where they were at in terms of their feeling confident and capable, we could work through every step of the way, even starting on the most basic windows at the bottom here, working up to step ladder windows, and then eventually getting the big extension ladders out. We could work with them in a step-by-step fashion, working and focusing on the micro movements. It worked really, really well. And on the back here, we had a framed in roof line. We had some deck glass railings. And the whole point here is we wanted to provide as much exposure as possible before the actual days started in the real world, out in the field. So regardless of how much experience they had, walking on a roof, up a ladder, dangling over some deck glass railings, we wanted to provide a situation where they felt comfortable and safe going out into the field. One thing I always like to point out is if you have a home service or a trades business, this is actually the game that you're in right now. It's usually pretty easy, pretty straightforward to get work. It's another thing to get high quality technicians who are professional, hardworking, and comfortable with, in my case, heights. And you might have a similar or even unrelated industry that you're in, but whatever that pinch point is that you always experience, it'd be great if you could break it apart, slow it down to the micro movements, and create a situation where there's a training center of sorts where you could work through the building blocks and quickly assess whether or not that candidate is going to be successful or not.